A man is drowning in a well, dying of thirst in the middle of a desert, and a stranger who owes him nothing decides to help. That single act, one person, one moment, one decision, becomes the reason his sins are forgiven. Not years of prayer, not a lifetime of worship. One act of mercy toward a stranger.
Now ask yourself, what if the deed that saves you on Judgment Day isn't the one you're expecting? What if it's not the prayer you prayed in public or the charity you posted online, but something quiet, something you almost walked past? Let's talk about why helping just one person could be the single most important thing you ever do. There's a hadith narrated by the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, about a man walking on a road. He was extremely thirsty. He found a well, climbed down, drank, and climbed back out. But when he came up, he saw a dog panting, licking at the dirt, dying of thirst just like he had been moments earlier. The man thought to himself, "This dog is suffering the same thirst I just suffered."
So he went back down into the well, filled his shoe with water, held it in his mouth, climbed up, and gave the water to the dog. That's it. That's the whole story. No sermon, no crowd watching, no recognition. Just a man and a dying animal in the middle of nowhere. And Allah forgave him completely. The Prophet was asked, "Do we get rewarded for showing kindness to animals?" And he answered, "In every living thing, there is a reward." Now, here's where it gets serious. If mercy shown to an animal, a creature that can't even say thank you, can erase a person's sins, what does that tell you about mercy shown to a human being? A neighbor, a coworker, a stranger scrolling past your life every single day, silently drowning in problems you know nothing about. You've walked past people like that. So have I. There's another moment recorded in Islamic teaching, one that should shake you a little. It's said that on the Day of Judgment, Allah will say to a man, "I was hungry, and you did not feed me." And the man will be confused. He'll say, "How could I feed you? You are the Lord of the worlds." And Allah will respond, "Did you not know that my servant was hungry? And had you fed him, you would have found that with me." Read that again. The help you give to another human being isn't just charity. It's treated as if you gave it directly to God himself. That changes everything, doesn't it? Suddenly, that homeless man outside the store isn't just a stranger. That friend going through a divorce, that coworker who seems a little too quiet lately, that family member drowning in debt they're too ashamed to talk about, they're not just people in your life. They're opportunities. Opportunities that don't come twice. Because here's the uncomfortable truth. Most people wait for the big moment to do something meaningful. They wait until they have more money to give charity. They wait until they have more time to check on a friend. They wait until they feel more spiritual to help someone in need. But Judgment Day isn't going to ask you what you planned to do. There's a verse in the Quran, in Surah Al-Ma'idah, that says whoever saves one life, it is as if he has saved all of humanity. Think about the weight of that sentence. Not saves a nation, not saves 1,000 people. One life, one person, equal to saving all of mankind. Why would Allah frame it that way? Because one person is never just one person. When you help someone, you don't know what you're actually saving. You don't see the ripple. The mother who's stressed to the point of breaking, and your small act of kindness is the thing that keeps her patient with her children that night. The young man on the edge of giving up, and your 5-minute phone call is the reason he doesn't. The neighbor struggling silently, and your knock on the door with a plate of food is the reason they feel human again. You will never fully know the chain reaction you set off. That's the terrifying part, and the beautiful part at the same time. Because it also means the opposite is true. Every time you ignore someone in need, every time you have the ability to help and choose comfort instead, you don't know what you're also failing to stop. Now, let's talk about Judgment Day specifically, because that's really the question here. Why would one act of helping someone actually matter on a day when your entire life is being weighed? Islamic teaching describes the scale, the mizan, where every good deed and every bad deed is placed and measured. And here's something people forget. On that day, even the smallest things are not small.
The Prophet said whoever removes a harmful object from the road will find a reward for it. Not feed a village, not build a mosque. Remove a stone from a path. That's the standard. So imagine what happens when you don't just remove a stone, but you remove suffering from an actual human being. You lift someone's burden. You answer someone's cry for help, even when it was quiet, even when they never said it out loud. There's a reason scholars say the deeds that will surprise you most on Judgment Day are the ones you don't remember doing. Not the deeds you posted about, not the deeds you did to be seen. The deeds you forgot because helping had become who you are, not something you performed. That's the deed that could tip the scale. Because on that day, you won't be measured only by how much you prayed in isolation. You'll be measured by what you did with the people Allah placed directly in front of you. Think about that phrase for a second. Placed in front of you. That person who needed help wasn't a coincidence. In Islamic understanding, nothing crosses your path by accident. The friend who reached out at 2 a.m., the stranger whose car broke down on the road you happened to drive down, the old woman struggling with her groceries at the exact moment you walked by. These aren't random events. They're tests. Quiet, unannounced tests disguised as ordinary moments. And most people fail them without even realizing a test occurred, because we've trained ourselves to see helping others as an interruption, something that takes away from our time, our money, our peace. But Islamic teaching flips that completely. Helping someone isn't an interruption to your purpose. It might be the entire reason you were placed in that moment at all. So here's the real question you need to sit with. Not, am I a good person overall? But this. Who is the one person right now, today, that you've been avoiding? The one message you haven't replied to? The one call you keep postponing? The one act of kindness you've been meaning to do eventually? Because eventually might not come. And on the day everything is measured, it won't be the crowd you impressed that saves you. It will be the one person you helped when no one else was watching, and no one else even knew. So who is it going to be?